Today I'm going to be making Maple Magic Muffins. This is from the Woodland Creek Cookbook. This was actually prepared by Publishers Clearinghouse, believe it or not. And these are maple pecan recipes. They were sent to us in a packet from Georgian, a pack of 3 skinny little cookbooks, and this was one of them, maple pecan recipes. So what you need for this recipe is half a cup plus 3 tablespoons of maple syrup divided. So we're going to have maple syrup again. You need a 1/4 cup chopped pecans, 2 tablespoons of butter melted, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cup sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 3/4 cup plus 1 tablespoon of milk, 1/2 cup vegetable oil, 1 egg, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. The first thing you...
And that's 3 tablespoons of maple syrup.
Yeah, we're going to be using that in a little bit. So you need to preheat your oven to 400 degrees and you want to grease 12 standard muffin cups. So I just use the Great Value Walmart brand vegetable spray and I spray my cups. And then in each one of these cups, you want to combine 2 teaspoons of maple syrup and 1 teaspoon of pecans and 1/2 teaspoon of butter in each one of these cups. So you're going to see me do that again and again. So 2 teaspoons maple syrup. I'm going to get that first. My bag here of chopped pecans. You put 1 teaspoon of pecans in each cup. I don't think this is an exact thing, so I'm just gonna get it like this and just that's what I'm gonna do. Now we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of butter to each cup. Take all of your dry ingredients, literally all your dry ingredients are sitting right here, and you're going to put them in this bowl. So your sugar, baking powder, baking soda, salt, and cinnamon. And you're going to mix them together. Now in another bowl, you're going to whisk together your milk and oil, egg, maple syrup, and vanilla. Okay, now we're going to add our flour. We're going to add our flour to our liquid and we're going to stir it just until blended. Spoon the batter into the prepared muffin cups, and it says you fill them 2/3 full. Okay, now you want to bake these for 20 to 25 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. I'm going to set my timer for 23 minutes and we'll be back. I actually took my muffins out like what, Kevin? Like 5 minutes early?
Yeah, it was like 19 minutes.
Yeah, it was about 5 minutes early. I am so glad. Kevin bought this Rachel Ray pan on Amazon and I'm so glad he did because it has a lip on it. So some of that syrup streamed out while it was baking and this pan caught it. Our old pan, it would have run right off the side. So I really do like that about this pan. So you want to let these cool slightly, but you do want to serve them warm. And so that's the bottom of it. Some of it stayed in here. That's with that syrup. Gosh, that looks absolutely delicious. So these are muffins that you do want to serve warm. It says that cool them slightly but serve warm, and it does make 12 as you see. I do think that as you're taking them out, the longer you let them sit, maybe they'll stay together better if you let them cool more.
Yeah, I think the bottom is kind of liquidy.
Right.
So if you let them sit just a little bit longer than what we did, it would cool off a little bit and stick more.
I love the pecan.
But they look really good.
They look
Whoa,
dense.
That's heavy.
Yes, that
is heavy.
Yeah, that's not like the muffins I typically make.
That's like an Otis Spunkmeyer, but smaller.
I love what that maple did. It made like a crust around the edge.
I've just tried the top. The top has a nice little crust on it. It's crispy. It's really good. And now I'll try the bottom.
That is terrific. Really. That is a terrific muffin.
Definitely a muffin-like texture.
It's so dense. And in the picture, they show it with butter. And that, is how we typically eat ours, is with butter. But I think mine look pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I checked on them when I did though. I started smelling them. And I'm pretty good when we have something in the oven, whether it's a cake or bread or whatever. When you start smelling it that strongly, you know that it's just about ready. So I started smelling it and I looked and it's like, oh yeah, those are ready to come out.
I have two things I would change.
Okay.
Well, one thing I would change for sure. A lot of these pecans they're pieces, but they need to be chopped a little finer. Like I've got some pretty, like almost a half.
See, I like that though.
I do too, but it doesn't go as far.
Oh, okay.
So I've got like 5 or 6, 7 bigger pieces. If it would have been smaller, I would have had 12 or 15 smaller pieces.
I understand.
So the flavor would have gone forward.
Right.
So that's one thing I would change for sure. The only other thing I think of is I don't know why they didn't have you stir the pecans into the mix, because look how much muffin I have here.
Right.
And the muffin to pecan ratio is very small.
Yes.
So I really would have liked to have had pecans all through it.
Right.
But they don't have you do that, which it's still wonderful. Don't get me wrong. It's still absolutely wonderful. But I'm wondering why they didn't get you to stir them up.
I don't know. I was checking the front to make sure. This is a maple pecan cookbook.
Yep.
So it does seem like you would put more pecans, because for me, I would like more too, but maybe they wouldn't bake correctly if you put too many. But the cinnamon, if you're wondering about the cinnamon, you can see the little specks of cinnamon, but I don't taste it. I'm sure it adds to the flavor somehow.
Yeah, it probably just adds a layer of flavor.
I don't necessarily taste a strong cinnamon flavor at all. But I think these are delicious. I think adults, kids, if you like pecans, if you like maple at all, I think you're going to be very happy with it.
Yeah, because even the maple flavor is there, but it's not overpowering maple. It's just a nice sweetness.
Yes, it's delicious. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.